Hey guys, it's me Damien here. My mom's feeling better now, so I'm here on time this time, and this time we're talking about sex and relationships. Due to the nature of this topic, I'm going to give a quick trigger warning to those that might trigger easily. This isn't really a topic that most people want to talk about, so I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm going to be using names of anatomy and stuff that you might find triggering, so uh, if you're easily triggered by anything concerning sex, I would advise you to skip this video and wait for next week for a different topic. Or you can just see in where this leads. But yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up because we're going to go balls deep in here. Now, me personally, I'm not really interested in dating, especially like right now with transition and being unemployed and stuff. But I guess I could give you a few tips. But it's dating and relationships isn't as different as it might seem with trans guys. I mean, you still have to have the basic things to have a relationship. Trust, loyalty, and just being open and don't be closed off to your partner, whoever they may be, boy, girl, or some gender nonconformer. It could be another transgender person, however they identify. You can identify as a mailbox and still love that person. I don't know why I said mailbox. But anyways, you get the idea. I mean, you just have to respect the other person, and that's another thing I almost forgot. Respect, loyalty, and trust, and honesty, of course. It's not that different. I mean, it's just an identity. It's not a huge deal. But of course, then there's a whole thing about when they're gonna find out that you're trans or not if they don't already know. And that's not an easy question to answer. I mean, it's like arbitrary. You could probably tell them up front. You could just, depending on how you're meeting them, if it's a friend that suddenly took interest in you, or if it's someone you're meeting in person after being on OkCupid, Tinder, Grindr, or whatever those dating apps that you might be using, you could probably be upfront and just be like, "Hey, listen, I'm trans. That means I was assigned female at birth." And I'm just telling you now, so just we don't get hopes up and find that like I'm not who you think I was, and you don't have any expectations that I will be able to fulfill, and you still want to go on this date. It's sweet, simple. It nips any chance of happiness if there were any right in the butt. If genitals was a deal breaker for that person, eh, assuming that you're pre-op and everything, and I mean, you're gonna want to have to tell them. I mean, can't really be stealth in a relationship. It's like very difficult. So, assuming that all things go well, you guys go on your date, and even if they seem to have like taken it, like accepted it, like when you tell them before the date even starts, they might change their mind once they start processing it after the date, and they'll probably come up with some excuse. Well, I don't think this is gonna work out. I mean, I thought I could possibly see genitals as something that's not gonna get in the way, but I realize it would, and I don't want to get your hopes up. I mean, that's like the ideal thing for a person to do, but another person could be controlling, so you gotta be careful who you're getting in a relationship to. You gotta really know the person. Don't rush. There's no rushing. And don't settle for less. I mean, just because we're trans, that doesn't mean we aren't capable of love. Just look at all these people. Look at Adrian Dowling and his wife. And look at all these people who found love. I mean, it's possible, guys. Now, granted, I'm personally not really looking, but if it happens, who am I to stop it, right? Now, sex is a pretty touchy topic, especially, but the main thing that I found that works is communication. Yep, communication, guys. So that means you have to communicate with your partner what you would like, because they might be touching your chesticles and probably be touching around your genital area, your front hole or man cave or whatever you want to call that. I just personally call it vagina. And I just call these chesticles. So, of course, you could probably wear a binder over it, but that might be a little uncomfortable. It might kill the mood for some people. But that's like on a your mileage may vary basis. So, communication's a big thing. I can't really give you any tips. I mean, you can use sex toys if that really gets you off or gets the other person off, or if you're feeling, but also, uh, try to learn the signals of what your partner is telling you. I mean, it's a two-way street during sex. It's not like you're just having sex with a sex doll and just being like humping into that thing, depending on how you like sex. So that's basically all I have to say this week. Just remember, don't rush into a relationship, don't settle for less, and get the hell out if you see any of those warning signs like controlling person or someone who's really ashamed of who you are. You know, there's some people that say, I accept you, but doesn't really introduce you to some people. Or a person who doesn't really respect your pronouns if you're like pre-T or pre-op and all those things and just feels like lying. Just get the hell out. Don't waste your time on these people. You do deserve the best that you can find. That does not mean you have to settle for anything just because it's a little harder for us to find love. That's not the case. So, and for sex, communication, it's a big one. There's not really much I can tell you other than find out what you guys like, especially if, assuming you get into a relationship with this person and it's not just a one-night thing. So, yeah. Peace.